All right, guys. This is Takoya Carlton, and of course, guys, this is your strategic partner, and of course, we're gonna have an incredible show. I have one of my best friends, big brother, and then also a brother in arms on our show today. But real quick, we want to go ahead and do our intro, and we'll get right to the show.
I've been caught up since the day that we met, and you haven't seen the best of me yet. There's nothing like you and me together, and your eyes have been so hard to forget. But there's something you're trying to hide. There's something you're keeping inside. But I'm trying to get to know you much better. It don't matter how much time it takes. I just can't give up. Whoa, I just can't give up. Can't give up. I just can't give up. I just can't give up.
All right, just can't give up. What's going on, folks? This is Takoya Carlton by way of Fayetteville, North Carolina. Today, I am your solo host. My co-host today have yielded the live today with me. Why? Because we're celebrating Memorial Day weekend early. So we want to go and highlight some of our military veteran, a great friend of mine. We're going to talk to him in a minute. But again, I want to thank Ali Madawi and then, of course, Debbie Simons, my incredible partners. Again, I always love to have them here. But today, it's all about the military. It's all about our veterans. And, of course, we just want to bring in the Memorial Day weekend early. And, guys, it's going to be amazing. So real quick, in our comment section, real quick, guys, if you don't mind, tell me, how's your day been going? And also, if you're a prior military soldier in every area, every military arms division, I don't care if it's, Marines, Navy, Air Force, Navy, Army, whatever, guys, I want you to comment, I served, or I'm a veteran, or currently serving. So good evening, Lily Gray. Thank you for joining. And of course, guys, we're gonna get started here momentarily. We're just waiting on our guests to jump on. And then, of course, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about some amazing stuff. And so for me, this Memorial Day is something special for me. And the reason why it's special for me is that 1 year ago on Memorial Day morning, I got an incredible, impactful call. For those who don't know, and for those who do, I had a heart transplant May 31st of last year. Well, this weekend, this Monday coming up is Memorial Day. It's my 1 year anniversary coming up for having a successful heart transplant. And then, of course, ladies and gentlemen, in saying that, usually the first year is the hardest part of recovery, the hardest time. That's when they scrutinize everything. That's when they're checking everything, dotting I's, crossing T's, because the first year is the hardest time. And guys, listen, because we stay focused, because we do the right things, because we listen to our doctors and nurses and, our people, our healthcare facilities that are taking care of us throughout this duration of our heart transplant recovery, guys, here we are 1 year later. I'm so excited, guys, to be here. And I know you're excited for me to be here. So without further ado, I'm going to bring on our special guest. This gentleman I've known for, I would say, roughly about 17 years. And when I met him, he was an active duty military soldier right there stationed at Fort Hood, Texas. And at that time, I was living in Austin, Texas. And so we actually met paths because he was actually in a business that I was a part of back then in the legal industry. And we'll probably talk about that here in a minute, but let's go ahead and bring on my partner. He's a successful retired military, first of all, Army military veteran. He's a father. He's again, a husband, father of two incredible young men. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, when he got out of service, he didn't stop serving. He actually went out and started coaching and teaching some of the same principles, the same lessons he learned over 20 years of being in the military. So without further ado, let me go ahead and bring on my partner. What's going on, Coach Wilson?
What's going on? What's going on there? How y'all doing?
Incredible, incredible, sir. And so again, this is my partner, Mr. Coach. I'm saying Coach Wilson, Charles Wilson, Coach Wilson, the Coach Wilson. Again, this is my partner, man. So proud of him and what he's done over his military career, but more importantly, what he's doing now outside of military, blessing families all over the world. So, real quick, sir, if you don't mind, just introducing yourself. Just give us a little bio about you, and we'll go from there.
Well, you kind of told a lot of it, but I spent 25 years in the military. My background in the military is logistics and diversity management. Then when I got out the military, got involved in business. Actually had started getting involved in business while I was in the military. Owned a mortgage brokerage company out in Reisterstown, Maryland. And after doing that, started consulting and doing personal coaching, just sharing with people lessons that I learned in business and life and in the military. I'm currently the founder of Brothers Helping Brothers, where one brother helps another brother along the way. I still do some marketing consulting with small businesses. And my passion right now, business-wise, is in the cryptocurrency space. And I teach people about cryptocurrency. You know, it's kind of hard to take advantage of an incredible industry when you don't understand. It's hard to take advantage of stuff that you don't understand. And lastly, but not leastly, just helping my spouse with her campaign as she works to make history to become the first female Bell County Chamber of Commerce, Bell County County Commissioner, Precinct 2. And so pretty busy and, just always looking for ways that I can serve and never turn down a friend when I have the ability to help. And so I'm here.
You definitely did that because I literally called you about 2 hours ago.
Yeah, if I'm able to help, I'm going to do that.
Yeah, and and he's just one of the people that I can really call on anytime, anywhere. I mean, even when I was going through my situation, this gentleman visited me in the hospital. Will make calls constantly, checking on me. So again, he's just that type of person. He's that type of pedigree where again, he's in your corner. He's that strong brother that you can actually depend on and trust. So real quick, sir, this is Memorial Day, celebrating our veterans all over the world. So real quick, you kind of told us what you did in the military. What age were you when you went in the military?
I was 18 years old when I joined the military, like fresh out of high school.
Wow.
I literally graduated and 3 days later, I was in the military. And so, I kind of made up my mind what I wanted to do. Coming from, some struggles before I joined the military and wasn't prepared to take advantage of other opportunities that I had. And so I decided to take this one. I'm glad that I did. And, the rest is history.
Good stuff. So you joined when you were 18 years old.
Right.
Where'd you go to basic at?
So I went to basic at Fort Jackson, South Carolina. Stayed in the semi-new buildings, but trained in the old Vietnam barracks.
Wow. And I know about those barracks because I had them in Korea. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. But real quick, man, if you could, how was that experience going straight from high school? And again, you come from Cleveland, Ohio. Is that right?
No, I'm from Dayton. Yeah,
Dayton, Ohio.
I'm from southwestern Ohio, kind of about 40 minutes from Kentucky, about 40 minutes from Richmond, Indiana. Richmond, Indiana. Yeah.
Now, a lot of people, when they go to basic training, it's a little culture shock. How was it for you? You're like just entering basic training and being surrounded by all these people you didn't know, different colors, ages, and then someone yelling at you. How was that?
Well, the yelling is definitely a shock, but the situation that I came out of
Mhm.
actually kind of prepared me. So, just to give a little backstory, um, my dad put me out the house when I was 14, and I bounced around from relative to relative for about 2 years. Ended up in some trouble, and I got sent to a children's home, like reform school children's home.
Mhm.
And so in that reform school children's home, they also had a ROTC program, but they also had structure. So I had already been staying in the barracks for 2 years before I joined the military.
Uh, okay, you was ready. Okay, I got you. I got you.
Yeah, I
So,
had already been staying in the barracks, already living with strangers. For
hey,
about 4 years.
we,
I lived with all kind of people. Just trying to make it and survive. And so that portion wasn't as hard.
Mhm.
Probably the hardest thing. Definitely didn't like all of the yelling and being in your face. Wasn't accustomed to that because where I come from, that'll get you a couple of licks, but you can't
Right.
do it in the military.
All right. So check this out. So these new school guys, these new military, chileans that's coming in, these new little little guys and women coming in, they got access to cell phones in basic, right? Do you remember
No,
those days? Because I know when we came in, it was what did we use when we had to call back home?
no, we had the pay phone
And what else?
and and the phone in the drill sergeant's office.
And the call
That's
and the calling card,
Yeah, yeah. I had to call collect. We didn't have no call.
dude. So
We ain't had uh, no cards. I had to call collect. I'm a little bit older than you, but yeah, we didn't have all of that. And I tell you, we slept in open bays, bunk beds. Actually, a lot of times people say, when they ask you about your military time, it almost sounds like they're asking you about prison times. Like, how long you doing the joint?
but you know what, man? I gotta say, basic training for me was some of the
Mhm.
funnest time for me personally because I was already what they would call hua. Before I joined the military, I was that gung ho dude. I was ready to try jump. Hey, if you wanted me to jump out the plane, hey, I wanted to do that because my dad was, a paratrooper as well. Here at Fort Bragg, he was, again, I was hyped like that. I wanted that, right? So I went there hyped, and so I loved it, man. The whole workout thing, and you can't smoke a rock drill sergeant. Remember that?
Yeah. We said that, but I don't know. I don't know where you went to basic training at, but South Carolina was not no joke. Fort Jackson,
Um,
South Carolina. And for me, it wasn't the structure and the discipline wasn't necessarily hard, but the elements kind of combined with all of that, that's the part that I didn't like. Now I was highly motivated as well. However, it's certain stuff. I'm from the city. You know, my dad was in Vietnam, but I didn't know nothing about none of that. He didn't tell me nothing about none of that. He didn't show me, nothing about that. So you talking about a city kid going to basic training. I ain't jumping out no planes. I ain't like no woods. We ain't do that in the city. So I didn't like
yeah, I
those
get you.
aspects of it. The fitness part, I was ready for that because I'm a high school athlete. But just dealing with some of the people in a sense per se, being group punishment, I didn't like that part of it. So, but yeah.
So I'm gonna ask you this real quick because I know in basic, man. We're gonna stay on basic for just a minute, just a couple more minutes.
Mm.
some of the craziest stories, like some of the craziest junk drill sergeants did to people. Like I don't know if you can remember something that stands out that you saw drill sergeant had somebody doing. If you can tell that story.
Uh, I'm going to tell you, for me, probably the craziest thing with the drill sergeants was the way that they talked. Like we had some country bunkins, and for a portion of my basic training, we end up having like reserve drill sergeants, and it was just horrible. But now for crazy stories, that was in the barracks, and that was amongst us men. When people got out of line, and we helped to get people back in line.
Old school. That's right.
Yeah, it's been about 20 years, 20, 30 years, so I think I'm good. But they used to get the pillowcases and the soap.
Oh wow, man, y'all was like the movies then. Okay, we wasn't on that.
And and doing stuff like putting shaving cream on people and messing with them and making them slap themselves in the face and some of the we had stories like that. Our drill sergeants really didn't do too much craziness to us. It was just all standard stuff. They smoked us. They smoked us for real. But maybe the dead cockroach, putting people in dead cockroaches, for 10, 20 minutes. Yeah, that's probably it. You have to tell your audience what the dead cockroach is.
Yeah. But that's all ab work right there. But hey, I'll tell you something real quick. I had so many stories. But I had a Puerto Rican drill sergeant, and you already know, and he was short on top of that. So you already know he had that complex. Then I had another drill sergeant, and he's from New York, and he was too cool. And I still, what's so crazy? I still remember my drill sergeant's names, and that was like 30 something. I don't know, but it's been a long time, right? I had Drill Sergeant Holloman, Drill Sergeant Ortiz. Still remember those guys. That's how much impact those guys had in my life. And Drill Sergeant Holloman was from New York, and so he like, "What's up, man?" And I mean, literally, man, he was cool like that. He's like, he would be like, when he would like smoke us, he would be like, "All right, y'all, let's go." And he said, "Drill Sergeant," he say, "push-ups, go." Like this real, just real cool, like a New Yorker would, like no energy, no emotion. Drill sergeant, push-ups, go. Sit-ups, go. Jumping jacks, go. And he would just do like that with his New York accent. And then he always had females coming in late at night and we like, drill sergeant, whatever. But it was crazy, man. And
we had. Now I remember I had one drill sergeant from AIT that I still remember his name, but I had one drill sergeant in basic training, big brother, about 6'8". Dude was like a tree, just huge, very, very, very intimidating. We had him, and then we had some runners, that would, run your chest out the cavity. And so those were kind of some of the memories that I had from those drill sergeants. But I had a drill sergeant in AIT, Drill Sergeant Page, and just a smooth cat. I can't remember where he was from, but I know he took care of me, especially like when you start getting towards the end of AIT, and they start putting out your orders of where you're going when you leave. And I never forget, I was like, everybody was getting their orders, and he was like, "Come here, Wilson." And I came over there, and he was like, "You going to Panama?" And I was like, okay, Panama. I'm feeling that, I'm going to another country. And then he was like, "And you going to an MI brigade?" And I can remember asking, like, "Do they go to the field?" And he was like, "Nah." He's like, "Matter of fact, you going to be good. You get you a top secret clearance, and you going to go from MI unit to MI unit. I was like, word. And yeah, so I remember, that he helped play the part in me getting that first assignment that really played a major part in setting me up for success. And so
Nice.
that's the thing that I remember about him until I saw him on the news, uh,
Uh-oh.
or in Army Times rather. So
Mm.
yeah,
Yeah, man.
yeah, he it was a big scandal. Probably about the time you came in, it was a big scandal with drill sergeants.
Yeah, I
He was
remember
one
that.
of them.
That was at South Carolina? Absolutely. I
Yep,
remember that.
he was one of them.
Wow.
Like, man,
So just to let y'all in, let y'all in, drill sergeants, obviously these were co-ed um,
mhm,
units in South Carolina.
mhm,
I was at Fort Benning. I was at an infantry unit. We didn't see no females. We had a male lady who was a female. She was a sergeant. That's the only female I saw
mhm.
the whole time I was there. These
Yeah,
guys, the lucky, fortunate guys,
yeah.
go to South Carolina and it's got mixed co-eds, and so a lot of
But
stuff was
now,
going on
now,
with
now
drill
you bring back
sergeants.
some memories. Now,
Yeah.
let me tell you about some of the other guys. Some of the other stuff that they did was the only way that you could get a break was to go to church on Sunday.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted to go to church on Sunday, and when you go to church on Sunday, the females from the cross post, they would go to church on Sunday too. And they used to have porta johns outside the chapel, and I just leave it right there.
Okay. All right. All right. Let's go. Let's go. So, anyways, man, here's the thing, man. I mean, the military was fun, guys. I mean, that's just the beginning, basic
Absolutely.
training, AIT. We didn't even got into actually getting to your job and getting to your first duty station, all that stuff. But man, I tell you what, I really enjoyed the military time for me, basic training, AIT, all that stuff. I was in super shape before I went to the military. And while I was in the military, literally, I hardly ever got smoked. And if I did get smoked, it was because of a group situation, somebody tripping, so
Mhm.
everybody got smoked. But normally they would walk around and they would see me or somebody think they gonna get me and say drop and give me 50 and start trying to smoke me. And I'm just killing the game. And this Carlton, get up, you're no fun. They'd be like, hey, private such and such, come over here. You're no fun, Carlton, get away. So,
Yeah.
little stuff like that, man. But I was a holdover, and actually, my first duty station was Fort Hood.
Ooh,
Yeah, first duty
real
station was
sorry
Fort
for
Hood.
you.
Hey, I enjoyed it, man, because you know what? When you get to these units, one of the things that really make or break the unit is leadership, meaning the
Right.
people that's in charge, right? Your
Mhm.
sergeants, your
That's
platoon
always it.
sergeants,
Leadership.
sergeant major,
Yeah.
and
Leadership.
then
Leadership is always very important,
mhm,
and it starts from the top, and it goes down in most cases. But you're absolutely right. The units and um,
mhm,
of all of the places that I went over 25 years, I had a few good men that helped me along the way,
yeah,
and they helped to mold me in the beginning, which also continued to set on. So over the course of my military career, right before I joined the military, I always had a few good men, a few good brothers that helped me along the way. And I got to give a plug. That's one of the reasons why I create house. I don't know where I would be if I didn't have those few good men that stepped in to help
mhm.
me along the way. And they played a very instrumental part when I got to my first duty station.
Yeah.
Even though I wowed out, they played a part to keep me from going all the way off the rails. I was leaning on the rails, but I didn't go all the way off. You know.
But what's so crazy? Like I know when I first met you,
Mhm.
when did we say it was 2003 or four? When was it?
Yeah, somewhere around there, 2003,
Okay.
2004, something
So
like
we
that.
met a long time ago, and at that time you were still serving. I was out. I was being a
Mhm.
business person doing a network marketing company,
Mhm.
and one day I see this gentleman right here in the room, and that's how we had firstly initially met is through a network marketing company.
Mhm.
And it's so crazy because when you're in military towns across the United States, there's a lot of folks who are doing other things outside the military. So speak on that. So, well, real quick, let me go back because you did 25 years in service. So, obviously, guys, keep this in mind. You don't do 25 years if you're not doing the job. If you're not, an excellent soldier, you're not leadership material. They're gonna get you out of there, or find a way, right? This gentleman spent 25 years in the military, reached the highest NCO levels, some of the highest NCO levels that were able to be gotten. He did that. And then, of course, while doing that, again, when we first met, this gentleman was already performing at a high level in the military. But what else were you doing when we first met?
So let me take it before we met to how I ended up being involved in what you were involved in. And so, one of the things about being in the military, you're not necessarily compensated, well. And if you're an ambitious person, if you want more, then you're going to be looking for more. And so that was the case with me. And so I started out in the part-time job arena. I was doing part-time job, in the early 90s. I worked security at the Atlanta Braves while in the military. I would get off work and go work security at the Atlanta Braves stadium. And then when I PCS to the DC metro area, I ended up partnering with the gentleman, and we started a mortgage brokerage company and making great money. But, I spent a lot and it took a lot to keep that business going. And then I couldn't work it the way that I needed to work it with my partner because, I couldn't start until 5 o'clock, and so we ran into some snags, and we end up having to shut the business down late 99, early 2000. That was about the time that I was relocating to Fort Hood. And right before I left in Maryland, I came across prepaid legal. And when I came across it, I can remember, I made $1,400 in a day. And I was like, okay, that's a good money. That's kind of money I'm making with mortgages. But then I started to build a team, and I made $1,400 in a day, and I didn't do no work. And I was like, oh, this is different than my mortgage. I drive all sales coming to this mortgage company, and I made money, and I didn't have to work for it. And so that's what got me into prepaid legal. I was doing a little bit of consulting using my logistical background, still working with a couple of companies back in DC, helping them get certifications like your 8A certification, your small disadvantaged business certification, doing things of that nature. And, doing my military job. I had a platoon, which means I was in charge of about 60, 70 military personnel. I ran a staff office that was responsible for all of the logistics within an organization of about 1,500 to 2,000 people. And I was building my prepaid legal team on the side. And so that's when, coming out to an event that they had in my area, that's when I ended up meeting Mr. Takoya. And actually, it wasn't 2003. It was like either 2001 or 2002.
Oh, okay. I know it's in them early years. But here's the thing, man. And I want people to understand this, because so many people make so many excuses about why they can't do something else or start a business or whatever have you, because I work and when I get home, I'm tired or whatever. But when you got a family, because at that time you were married, you had 2 young boys, and you ran the size of a corporation with over 2,000 people, and then handling logistics, that's numbers, that's inventory, all that stuff on your shoulders, right? Then being in the military to where they're saying, hey, look, man, at any time they could say, hey, you need to come in. right? So if you got a business on the side or something, a job on the side, whatever, you got to go, right? Or we go in the field for 2 weeks, or we going to NTC in California for a month, right? Or so what I'm saying is, if you want it bad enough, you'll find a way. And that's what Mr. Wilson did. Charles did that. Coach Wilson went out and found a way. So he got into prepaid legal, hit one of the top positions in that company, and built an organization still while being in the military, still while raising a family, doing all that stuff, right? And so real quick, if you don't mind, again, I said that because, again, so many people are using their job, their family, usually as excuses why they can't do something. But you said no. Yeah.
What I found is that people that people don't plan to fail; they just fail to plan. And what happens a lot of times, and that's one of the things with the military. The military helps to show you that you can do a lot of stuff in a short amount of time.
Right.
You can take that back to basic training, all of the stuff that we had to do, and you had to do it quickly, proficiently in a short amount of time. And so what you come to understand is it's all in time management. It's all in planning. It's all in organizing. And so, a lot of times people feel like they don't have time to do stuff when really they're just not, making good use of the time that they have.
Right.
And so if we learn to make good use of our time, then we can accomplish so much more. Most people waste so much time. And one of my pet peeves right now is, I don't like people to waste my time. I respect other people's time. I, make sure that I don't waste anybody else's time. Time is probably the most valuable resource we all have, time. And so you want to make sure that you're using your time to the best of your ability. And that's the mistake that people make. And that's what they don't understand is it's all based in how you use your time. You can cut out an hour or two, 5 days a week. Even if you work 60 hours a week, you can cut out an hour or two. And in most cases, when you have that time and it's shrunk and it's compact, then you have to focus.
Right.
And if you will focus and take focused action in that short amount of time, you'll be amazed at what you can get done.
That's right. Good stuff. And so here's the thing, because I know you just a little while ago you were talking about the military doesn't pay that well. And like my daughter's in the military right now, serving out there in Korea. That's her first duty station right out the gate. Okay. And I have to remind her sometimes, like, because she's like me. She's a go-getter. She's about that money and stacking, and she's about doing some things. But that was her way of getting started in the world, to join the military. So she joined the military, and we were having a conversation the other day, and she was like, "Dad, I need to make more because my check, especially when you're E1, your check don't look too fancy, right? Ain't got too many commas up in that joker, right?"
Yeah.
And so she's like, "Dad, I need to, make some more money." I said, "Babe, listen, I just need you to concentrate, on just, doing your time in Korea, advancing as much as you can during your first term, right? And she's going to re-enlist a second." And I said, "Just do what you have to do. You need to be at least the E5 here in the first 4 to 5 years, right?" And then I said, "Here's the thing. A lot of people don't add in all the stuff that they get in the military, right? So we talk about you get a check, right? Yeah. You get 100% military, medical, right? You get somewhere to stay, right? You get food 3 times a day, right? You get clothing, right? For the whole day, right? All this stuff is being paid that no one actually ever puts into the equation. They just look at the check and it's like, no, okay, if you was out on the real world, you'd be paying, right now in some places $1,000 for a 1-2 bedroom apartment, right? Then we talk about electricity, we talk about gas, we talk about your cell phone, your car, all that stuff that you're not paying while being in the military. So again, if you add all that together, you're doing good.
Well, it depends. It depends.
If you don't have a
I'll agree
family,
with you and disagree
if you
with
don't
you a
have a
little
family,
bit.
yeah.
Huh?
If you don't have a family, I'm just saying single
No,
soldier.
no. I mean, and I mean that as well. So
Mhm.
it all depends on what you bring to the table.
Mhm.
So, for example, depending on your education and more importantly, your skill level, this is where the pay disparity comes in at. So, if you're a valuable individual, they'll pay you for that in the civilian marketplace, and it would make up for those numbers. I understand what you're talking about
Mhm.
with the cost adjustments. They actually put out a publication that shows, basically your pay plus your benefit package, what you actually made. And when you take those numbers and you look at, what you're handling, what you're overseeing, that's where the comparison comes in at.
Mhm.
And so I used to look at mine, so as a lower enlisted, I felt like I did pretty good until I made E5. And then once I made E5 and I had been in five for a while, then that's when I really started to notice the pay difference,
Mhm.
and pick up on that. But prior to E5, I would say, based on my skill and my education, my pay was very commensurate. But once I made E5, it definitely wasn't. And then, once I had a family,
Right.
irregardless of whether it was or it wasn't, so to speak, it didn't afford me to be able to live the lifestyle or be able to do the things that I would want to be able to do. And
Mhm.
so that was another driving factor for me to find other means to
That's
create
right.
additional income.
Yeah, I was doing the same thing, man. Even though I wasted most of my money, I ain't gonna lie. So, because it's
We,
like to me,
we,
it's
we
like free
all
money every month. When you that first year before you get married and have kids, it was just like free money to me, and I ain't have to worry about no bills. And so again, I get paid. I was broke the next day, right? 2 days later, you know how it goes, right?
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah. Happens to
but
us
but
all.
but the thing that the military did, I mean, it's so the military experience is so valuable on the outside world because I remember
Absolutely.
getting out in every place that I was applying to, or when I did work a little bit, because I was in the military, it was almost like you win. You follow me? And so again, we look at that and we say, the pay and it's not. And of course, once you get to the NCO levels, you've basically got a degree in whatever it is that you're doing. So logistics, you have a degree in that. So now on the outside, that's worth a lot more. That's why a lot of guys were leaving the military and going contract overseas and doing the same work and making $100,000-$200,000 a year. But see,
Right,
that's the great thing about it. It's kind of like having a intern with a company, right?
right.
That's what the military did. So you look at, like, again, if you look at the advertisement for this live here, 60% of most CEOs have
Mhm.
military background. Why is that? You see
Right.
what I'm saying?
The military is like, the way that I look at it is the military is the biggest trade school in the country.
Yep.
And the reason why I would call it a trade school is because you get the hands-on training experience, education, and what you're doing. They don't just teach you how to do a job, but you get
Right.
hands-on training in how to do that job. And so it's the biggest for me. It's the biggest trade school in the
Yeah.
country.
It's what you got out of it. And like I said, it's some people utilize that skill when they get out, and some people act like they never got it. And you see those guys going through the same old junk, the same old dead end jobs, but they hate the military and they got out. And it's like, dude, it's like I tell my daughter, if you're gonna plan to get out, and again, the worst thing that most people do in the military, I don't care what branch it is, they get out because they think they could do better out there, but they don't already have something ready They don't have any plan. They don't have anything to take advantage of when they get out. They don't already have something that they're going right into. And so they sit there a year, 2 years, 3 years, and it's gone. And the money that they did have saved is gone. And they're stuck at some odd end job because they wasn't prepared to get out. They just wanted to get out. You follow what I'm saying?
They didn't make a plan.
Yeah. So real quick, man, I'm gonna go ahead and get back into you in your right now story. So again, let's get into what you do, and then we also want to talk about your wife, man, and what she's doing, because she's doing something major. And I know you're right there. You know what I'm saying? I know you out putting the signs out there, everything. So let's talk about what you're doing, and then let's lead that into what your wife is doing and how we can support for the folks that are in Texas, in the clean Texas market. If you're watching or listening, or Fort Hood, or
so Salado, Harker Heights, and Killeen. That's her district where you could vote for. If you're in Salado, Harker Heights, or Killeen, more likely you're going to be able to vote for her.
And what's your wife's name for our listeners so that they can?
Stacy Wilson. Vote for Stacy.
Okay.
Yeah, vote for Stacy.
Okay. Good stuff. So vote for Stacy. Again, she's incredible, and she's doing something no one's done there as a female. She's going to be the first commissioner in that city, in that district. So that's going to be kudos. We know it's going to happen. She's already won her primaries already. So she's looking to really do some big things in September, November, time frame. So yeah, we're proud of her and where she's come from and what she's going to do for the city. And I know she's got a good right-hand man that's going to help her out along the way. So real quick, sir, if you don't mind, let's talk about what you're doing to serve the masses. You talked about Brothers Helping Brothers. Yeah. How is that working right now? And then, of course, is there any way that people can connect to you to actually be a part of that? As far as I know, you have a Facebook group, but I don't know if you have a website or anything like that that you can promote, and we can go ahead and make sure people get connected to you who are in different cities, different states, different countries, who just want to help and support. So, if you want to go ahead and put that information out as you talk about Brothers Helping Brothers.
Right. So Brothers Helping Brothers is really it's really intimate, and it's built in a very informal way. And so the reason why I created this organization is because like I stated, I had a few good brothers. It started with my first mentor, a dude by the name of Greg Mukes from Xenia, Ohio. And me and this brother, when I first met him, he worked at the facility that I was at, and we clashed. I did not like this cat, and but we kept clashing. And obviously, he worked there, I stayed there, so I wasn't getting away from him, and he was gonna see me every day he came in. But along the way, something clicked. And I started to listen to him, and he's been like the big brother I never had. I'm internally grateful to have had him cross my path at that time in life, because again, I don't know where I would be if I hadn't had a brother like him, that didn't let me fall off the track. And so I had him, and then after him, I had some brothers when I first joined the military, about 5 brothers in Panama, Rick Jarvis, William Wood, Stacy Williams, David Bradford, and a peer by the name of Roderick Heron. All of these gentlemen, they played a very vital role in keeping me on track and helping me to excel in my military career. Along the way, a gentleman by the name of Charlie Turner, he helped me once I got to another level. And these brothers really helped me along the way. And so as I got out the military, I started to realize that I've been gone for 25 years. I've missed so many dates with intimate dates with my immediate family members, missed so many birthdays, holidays. I don't know my nieces and nephews.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, man, I don't have no relationships,
Right.
you know, with people that, supposed to mean something to you, and I was always raised to love your family. And that's always been a yearning in my heart is my family. And so, but I didn't know them, like I said, I got put out the house at 14, never lived at home since. And, a lot of relationships, they were there, but, it wasn't too strong. And so I started Brothers Helping Brothers as a way to reach my nephews. I was like, you know what? Let me reach my nephews. And I started working with them. But then I started to realize that, my nephews are influenced by people that they're around. And so I said, well, let me include my nephew's friends in what I do. Then that way,
Mm-hmm.
there's a backstop, if my nephews mess around and get around somebody, they might take my nephews off the right track. And so I said, let me help them. And then I started to have problems with my own sons. And, I just kind of came to the understanding that, sometimes as Black men, we clash with our fathers, because, if you got a father and he's in your life, they going to be on you,
Right.
nonstop. However, for a lot of teenagers at a certain point, you're going to click them off. They still going to be on you, but you ain't going to be listening. And that happened with me as well with my own father. And so I started to experience the same thing with my own sons. And I said, you know what? It was a few good men that helped me. So let me give back and help somebody else's brother.
Right.
Let me give back, help somebody else's son. Let me give back, help somebody else's nephew. And so it just kind of spread. And initially the way that, I did it, because I didn't want to make it too formal. So I said, because one thing about business and military, it teaches you about people.
Right.
So when you're dealing with people, you have to understand the psychology of people. And so I said what I wanted to do is I wanted to be sporadic. And so I started out with, kind of inspirational messages, video clips, and it would just be in a text message.
Yeah.
I would only send it out about 4 to 6 times a month. And it was no rhyme to reason. You might get a message on Tuesday at 7 o'clock in the morning, a message on Thursday at 6 p.m. Then you might not hear from me for 2 weeks. And then you get a message at 3 p.m. 2 weeks later,
Mm-hmm.
so that it could catch you. It wasn't enough to like get on your nerves or get you annoyed with it, but it would catch you at a certain time. And it was my specific intent to do it that way. And so as I kept going and the group started growing and growing, currently it's about 350 people.
Nice.
But I said, well, let me take it to social media. And so then I created the social media group for it. And so I had the text messages and the social media. And, then I said, this is too much for me. And so I started to enlist the help of other people so that it becomes us all helping each other along the
Mm-hmm.
way. So it's not just me pouring into brothers. It's, just like, you're in my group, you pour into other brothers, within in the groups. And other men, they pour into the brothers. And that's what it's designed for, And we pour it in mental ways. We talk about mental health. We talk about
Yeah.
relationships. We talk about business. Um, we talk about politics. We talk about things going on in the media. There's just really not no topic that we don't discuss, but it's designed where one brother can help another brother along the way. And I also must say this is a group that was created by us for us, and we don't make no bones about it. And quite plainly, what that means is other communities and other people, have resources, and this is a resource that's particularly geared to Black men 8 to 80. We don't hate. Um, but we do have parameters of who we're trying to help, who we're trying to address, and that's pretty much the guidelines for being a part of the group.
Hey, real quick, if you don't mind, because I'm trying to type this in real quick. What's the is it just Brothers Helping Brothers?
Yep,
So Facebook.com/Brothers Helping Brothers.
that's
All
right.
right. So I'm typing that in right now just so everybody can get that. Brothers Helping Brothers. All right. So let's go ahead and add to banner. All right. There we go. All right. So that's where you can actually connect with him. And again, I don't know if you're taking any kind of donations for, like clothing drives or food drives, school drives, anything like that. So I guess that once they get there, if they feel like they want to help or serve, or if you're a minister or you're a coach, a businessman, a responsible adult, right? You can reach out to him by messenger as well through there and say, hey, what's your skill? And you guys can communicate. And of course, he can have you come on. I'm sure he can get some kind of interview to actually bring more awareness in your city or state or your country. So again, Brothers Helping Brothers, that's the Facebook group. And you can start there by connecting with Mr. Charles D. Wilson, Coach Wilson.
Yeah. So you can pretty much find me on most social medias as the Coach Wilson. Now you see my name on the screen says Coach Wilson. If you type that in on social media, you're going to get a lot of Coach Wilsons. Mm-hmm. But when you type in all one word, the Coach Wilson, there's only one, the Coach Wilson, and that's me.
All right, good stuff. And so, guys, just so y'all know, let me take a little break here. This show has been brought to you by the Coach Wilson and Brothers Helping Brothers. And so, before we conclude this live here, real quick, I know that you also are, again, you're still in the business realm. You've helped your son to start his business, which is thriving. He's been doing it for a few years now, car wash business. And then also you've gotten to the crypto space and you've actually been managing people's accounts, coaching people on, how to take advantage of different crypto coins and things of that nature. So they can also reach out to you with Helping Brothers by inbox to get more information on that. But talk to us about that real quick, because again, we want to highlight you. And again, coming from the military, right? Learning the principles of leadership, to starting your own business, to helping other men, young and old, to get themselves together and also help them start businesses. But now you're helping them to not just start businesses, but to start making their money, make money for them. So let's talk about that real quick.
Yeah. So the crypto space, one of the things that I found out is that, in America, we don't talk about some of the things that we need to talk about. This is a capitalistic society, right, and you need to have financial literacy. And one of the tenets of financial literacy is investing. You need to put some soldiers to work for you and your family.
And some overalls.
Huh?
And some overalls.
Yeah. Yeah, you need to put some soldiers to work for you and through investing. And what attracted me to investing in the crypto space is as I looked at what happens, a lot of times, like, you see a lot of investors, what you call accredited investors, those worth $1 million or
Right.
more, they're able to make some life changing gains with small amounts of money, you know, um, based on how much money that they have. But for your average citizen, you can't take advantage of those types of investments. And so, quite simply, what I saw in cryptocurrencies was a way to do pre-IPO investing. Um, and in crypto is pre-ICO, where you could take a small amount of money
Right.
and turn it into something worth bringing home to mama. And so I got excited about the space. I see it as the way of the future. And so the biggest challenge that I ran into with people in crypto is that they couldn't take advantage of what they didn't understand.
Mm.
So I got involved in the crypto space 2017. I've made money, lost money. Um, and so I understand that there's a real need for education. This is new technology. This is a totally new space, kind of like how social media came into our lives. And so I said, I want to be at the forefront of this, and I want to make sure that other people, are able to capitalize this. And so along the way, became a part of a training academy that teaches everything that you need to know to really capitalize and take advantage of the crypto space and HELOC mortgages. And so HELOC mortgages, that's a word you want to look up. That's also something that's hot, new, that it's another advantage that those in the know are able to take, full use of and do some incredible things for themselves and their families financially. And so I like to be on the cutting edge of things. And this is kind of where I've hung my hat so that I can help other people in this space.
Good stuff.
I can imagine that we're getting close to time. So I'm going to just kind of run through a couple things if you don't
Go ahead.
mind.
For sure.
So in addition to that, I still do a small amount of coaching and consulting. Primarily, what I spend my time doing is working with my organization, Brothers Helping Brothers, helping people to learn and earn from the crypto space. And then last but not leastly, working on my wife's campaign. And so she's running to be the county commissioner, precinct 2 for Bell County. When she wins, she will make history. First female ever. And then also, obviously, first Black female as well. And so we're working pretty hard. The election starts in October. She'll be on the same ballot with the governor. And just looking to do some incredible things in the community. It's all about giving back and helping people along the way. And that's what we strive to do.
Good stuff. Good stuff. And so, guys, y'all see why we had him on the show. He's well equipped to talk, veteran stuff. 25-year veteran in the Army. And then, of course, with Tamal, he's already a veteran and also a legend in the home-based business arena as well. Helping people all over the world. And then, of course, blessing people with how to take that money and make it make money, right? So, go ahead. I'm sorry. You were going to say something, sir?
No, I was just agreeing with you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good thing, man. So here's the thing, guys, real quick, just a little short plug here. Tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time, my strategic partner, will be doing our training tonight. And again, this is only for in-house people who are part of the I Am community. Of course, it's only $1.50 a day, guys, to be a part of the community. You get a chance to get on training with people who've made thousands, hundreds of thousands, and 7-figure incomes, meaning millionaires over their course of their business life. And so again, guys, tonight at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern. Debbie Salmons will be giving you some incredible information. For those who are not a part of the group, look down below. Let me see what the hand, there it is. Okay, there it is. I couldn't show the hand on this side, but I got to go on this side, right? So that little website right there, iam.media. If you go there, you can actually get started. And of course, you can actually take part of that training tonight with our incredible partner, the genius, the incredible woman that she is, Miss Debbie Salmons, tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And of course, we do this every single Wednesday. Every Wednesday, guys. You can count it. You can go ahead and clock it in. We're going to have a 6 o'clock like we're doing now, where we highlight individuals who are business individuals, you name it. We've already talked to so many different, people. And then, of course, at 8 o'clock p.m., we always have some training, that practical training that you can take and enhance your current business and take it to the next level. So again, listen, I'm going to go ahead and let you close it out, sir. Any closing remarks that you would like to say to all those who are watching? And of course, we know that everybody doesn't watch now, but there'll be a lot of people on the replay. What do you want to leave them with? Something that you learned over the years that you can leave with our audience?
So today I shot a video. I want to just talk about that. Today I shot a video called Challenges. And what I shared with individuals is just simply this. We've all faced challenges. You've been here before. You've done this before. And so you got to look at, what did you do the last time you faced a challenge? Just think about that. How did you handle that frustration? How did you handle that anxiety? What did you do the last time you faced a challenge? And here's the next question. What did you learn the last time you faced a challenge? What could you have learned the last time you faced a challenge? And just bring that to the challenges that you're facing today. And you'll find a lot of results and a lot of answers in that, because again, you've been there before. So don't get nervous, don't get swayed, don't buckle. You've been there before and you still here. You made it. You've been there before. And so I just will leave that brief note with everybody. I hope that helps you along the way. I am the Coach Wilson. You can find me on social media, on most social medias, the Coach Wilson, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. You can find me there. Just send me a DM, and I love to hear from you. I love to connect, and we'll go from there. Thank you.
Good stuff. And that's been your motivational moment for tonight. Of course, I didn't do it, but I knew he would give it to you. See, I didn't even tell him to do that. But you know what? I knew he was going to do my spot. So I do a motivational moment on every Wednesday. And of course, I didn't do it. You know why? Because I knew my boy was going to do it. So good stuff, man. I appreciate you. And again, I look forward to seeing you guys at the 8 p.m. tonight with Debbie Salmons. Incredible training. Again, practical training to help you progress whatever it is that you're doing, whether it's a business, you're trying to start a business, you're thinking about starting a business, whatever it is, you want to be on that tonight. How do you get on tonight? iam.media. So with that, it's been a pleasant pleasure. I look forward to seeing you guys at the top, from the top, or over the top. Take care, take charge, and we'll talk to you soon.
Peace.
Hold on, sir.